And as you can see, I've been joined by Tom Dumbrell from Swan Hellenic. How are you, Tom?
I'm very well, thank you, Andy. Hope you're the same.
Yes, I'm good. Good to have you back in the cruise sector because some people will remember you from your previous employment. So how have you ended up at Swan Hellenic?
Yeah, it seems like I get around a little bit. So that's what you're alluding at.
Oh,
Yeah, very fortunate to have started out my travel recruitment with Fred Olsen many years back now after studying travel. So always feel very lucky to have come into the industry that I always wanted to join. And then I have popped up along the years working for a variety of wonderful cruise companies, be those river cruising, canal barges, ocean cruising in various forms. So yes, very fortunate to have a bit of a breadth of experience now and to be able to apply that to another much loved brand with Swan Hellenic.
yeah, and a lot of people will recognize the brand Swan Hellenic, so it's great to see it coming back. But presumably, it's a modern take on Swan Hellenic.
Yeah, it's a really great sort of new product to be bringing back to the market because we've got the brand, we've got those positive memories, that positive perception of what the brand's about, but at the same time we're bringing forward, I think, all of that cultural expedition, that learning experience, the exciting destinations, exciting cruise program, but partnering that with new ideas, new hardware, 3 brand new ships, and perhaps the most exciting, varied program of itineraries that people have ever seen from Swan Hellenic. So all the best of the old and moving it into the future of what Swan Hellenic will look like.
And for a minute there, I thought you said you had 3 new ships coming.
We do indeed, absolutely. I cannot stress that enough. So yes, 3 brand new ships, obviously built at a challenging time for the industry, but built with all the kind of the modern protocols and technologies on board to exist in the world that we're in now, but at the same time primarily focused on how we can get up close and personal to destinations, far-flung destinations. So we're a PC5 ice class ship, 152, 192 passengers. And it's meaning that we've got a really exciting program ahead for the coming years.
And in terms of your position, are you very much in the expedition part of the industry, or is there a bit of crossover in some of the other itineraries that you choose?
Yeah, so I mean, the Minerva, the first of those 3 new ships, is going to launch with a season in Antarctica. So there's definitely an expeditionary focus there. I think we want to truly explore destinations wherever we go, whether that's in a physical sense in terms of getting off and exploring on foot, but also around culturally exploring destinations with extensive learning programs on board, like-minded individuals on board the ship. So there's a real sort of sharing of that learning experience. And so we will do not only the polar regions, but also around to sort of New Zealand, Australia, up through the Pacific. We've also got UK and Ireland. So, a real variety of sailings, and it's worth having a little look. Anywhere you can think of, Swan will be visiting there in the coming years.
On one of those 3 amazing new ships. And
yeah.
And in terms of the guest profile, are you expecting them mainly to be Brits, or will they be an international audience on board?
I think they could very well be a mixture. I think that will add to the richness of the experience on board. I think if it's somebody who looks, is looking at a destination and doesn't just want to visit it, but wants to really learn, wants to really experience it, meet people, come back having really, fully absorbed the destination. I think that's something that will be the unifying factor rather than the nationality of the individual. Also, because we've got worldwide sailings here, I think that certain destinations will lend itself more to people of different nationalities. But yeah, overall, I think it's going to be a real community on board. And then with just 150 odd passengers, you're going to be able to get that feeling whilst on board the ships.
Sure. And in terms of those trips down to Antarctica and other parts of the world, there's a lot of excursions on Zodiacs, presumably, but also you have the guest lecture program and all of those great things that people expect in an expedition.
Yeah, absolutely. And so then we have that kind of exciting, experience where you're going down and no 2 journeys are the same. And it's just about putting yourself in those destinations, letting our expertise, our guides, our expedition experts go off and help get the most out of those experiences. But yes, we've got the technology there to go out and make the most of these destinations.
So tell us a bit about those dates, because your first ship is coming very soon.
Yes, it is creeping up. So 27th of November, we'll have our solar expedition polar solar eclipse rather, at the end of this year, November 27th, with hopefully some launch events prior to that, which we'll continue to sort of drip feed information on as we go, because it'd be great to get people to see what the new Swan Hellenic is all about. And then as we move into next year, of course, we'll have that Antarctic season before the ship repositions round to New Zealand. And then April next year, we'll see the launch of the second ship, SH Vega, which for us, very fortunately, will begin with a sailing from the UK. So heading out around northern France up to Ireland and then across to Scotland. So we've got some nice bits to look forward to, and again, they're a nice chance to take a traditionally English brand and explore, our near coastline in a way perhaps we haven't done before.
Fantastic. So if agents are interested in working with you and they aren't already, then where can they get some more information?
Well, I will be here and happy to hear from them. That's for sure. We are trying to obviously get ourselves back out there, and we're keen to work with anybody who likes the sound of what we're doing. So I would say the best resource will be swanhellenic.co.uk. That's where our website is. Other than that, I'm quite happy to hear from anybody, and I'll be continuing to try and reach out. So for me, it's tom.dumbrell@swanhellenic.co.uk, and if not social media, you'll find me somewhere.
Somewhere lurking, that's for sure. Well, look, you've got a busy, you've got a very busy year ahead. You're not only relaunching, I guess, Swan Hellenic, but you've got a new ship on the horizon. So a busy year for you.
Yeah, good to be busy with positive things, and hopefully it will be something nice and new and fresh for the industry to get behind. I know that everyone's in a different position, going through different journeys at the moment, but we'll all come back stronger, and I think the industry will be stronger for having Swan Hellenic back on the horizon.
Thank you for your time. Thank you very much indeed, Tom, and best of luck for 2021.
Same to you. Absolute pleasure.